This video is going to explain why the Golden State Warriors are by far the best team in the NBA. After defeating the Miami Heat, the Warriors have the best record in the entire league at 29-7, with the highest average margin of victory, beating teams by about 10 points per game, and recent impressive victories over other contenders like the 1-seeded Suns and the 3-seeded Utah Jazz. It's safe to say that the Warriors are firing on all cylinders. And what's scary about the Warriors' dominance is that they're doing this despite the fact that they didn't have Draymond Green for a stretch, and they're still missing two starters in Klay Thompson and James Wiseman. This means the Warriors have been the best team, and they're not even at full strength yet. Part of the reason the Warriors are so dominant is their elite offense, which ranks 5th in the league in offensive efficiency. While most teams rely on the greatness of one or two players, Golden State plays with a collective willingness to pass the basketball. The same strength and numbers philosophy that started the Warriors dynasty back in 2015 is making them great today. The Warriors do a great job of moving the ball and sacrificing good shots for great shots, which is reflected in the fact that they rank 2nd in the league in assists per game. And what makes the Warriors even scarier is that they're this dominant despite Steph Curry being in a shooting slump. Steph is still having a very good season, but by his standards, he's been off. He's averaging an impressive 27 points and 6 assists per game, but he's shooting just 43% from the field, which is his second worst shooting percentage of his career. Steph has been uncharacteristically inconsistent this season. He'll have a dominant game where he scores 46 and shoots lights out, and then follow it up with a 20-point game on a poor shooting percentage. Last night against the Heat, Steph only had 9 points on 3 of 17 shooting. He didn't even score his first basket until midway through the second quarter, starting off the game just 0 for 5. And the shots that Steph was missing weren't necessarily difficult attempts, but open shots and layups. It's been like this for Steph all year, where many of the shots he's been missing have been wide open looks that he normally makes. Steph has had shooting slumps like this in the past, and he always breaks out of them. I'm sure he'll eventually start knocking these looks down, and once he does, that will make the Warriors offense that has already been top 5 in the league even greater. And Andrew Wiggins has been great as a second option behind Steph. He's currently having his best season for the Warriors, and recently he's been having a dominant stretch, averaging 21 points per game on 50% shooting from the field and 54% from 3 in his last 9 games. Andrew Wiggins is a dominant slasher where his size, length, and freakish athleticism makes him an incredible finisher at the rim. And his shooting from 3 has become so good where he's now one of the top knockdown shooters in the league. And he's doing this while also playing amazing defense. The way Wiggins is playing this season, he deserves some serious all-star consideration. And Jordan Poole, aka the third Splash Brother, has been having a breakout season. His 18 points per game ranks 3rd on the team, and he's been a pretty consistent scoring option for Golden State. Just like Steph and Klay, Poole is great at running hard off screens for open looks from 3. But what's truly taken his game to the next level is his ability to break down the defense and score at the rim. On Monday night's win over Miami, Poole dropped 32 points on 71% shooting, and that was his 4th 30-point game of the season. Poole has started for most of the year, but when Klay returns, he'll be one of the top 6 men in the league, a luxury that most teams simply don't have. Speaking of Klay Thompson, the second Splash Brother is nearing his return. As Andrew Wiggins recently stated, the league is going to be in trouble when Klay gets back. Klay has been scrimmaging with the Warriors for weeks now, and according to his teammates, he hasn't lost a step and looks explosive. And right before the Warriors game against Utah on New Year's, Klay knocked down 24 3-pointers in a row. Based on everything we've heard and seen, it looks like Klay is mostly back to his old self, which makes a Warriors team that's already heads and tails above the rest of the league even deadlier. When Klay returns, the Warriors will be getting back one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. This will stifle the other team's game plan to stop Steph. Teams often double Steph to get the ball out of his hands, but now trapping Steph can lead to Klay getting open, who hits 42% from 3 for his career. Klay also gives the Warriors another shot creator that can take over games and carry the offense while Steph is on the bench. Between Steph, Klay, Andrew Wiggins, and Jordan Poole, the Warriors have 4 players that can get hot and take over games. We also have to talk about how dominant the Warriors have been on defense. The Warriors have easily the best defensive team in the league. They rank number 1 in the league in defensive efficiency, holding teams to just 100 points per 100 possessions. Teams on average are scoring 110 points per 100 possessions, meaning teams are being held 10 points below their average when they face the Warriors. When you look at the incredible defensive talent on this roster, it's not hard to see why. Draymond Green is the Warriors' defensive anchor, and the way he's playing, he's going to earn his 2nd Defensive Player of the Year award. He's probably the most versatile defender in the league, where his size, length, and agility allows him to guard every position on the court. He's also an amazing help defender, and he's a great vocal leader that empowers his teammates and gets them in the right position. Andrew Wiggins has also been great defensively for the Warriors. He wasn't even known as a defender on Minnesota, but he's completely turned it around on Golden State. He normally takes on the best wing player on the other team, and he usually does a fantastic job. At 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan and great athleticism, he matches up really well against opposing wings, and he usually holds them below their averages. He's been a phenomenal two-way player for Golden State. We also can't forget about the defensive impact of Gary Payton II. He almost didn't make the roster at the beginning of the season, as Steph and Draymond wanted Avery Bradley over him, but he's been a defensive beast for the Warriors all season. He's an absolute pest on the perimeter against opposing ball handlers, even when matched up against some of the league's best players. The Warriors are elite at every aspect of defense, and adding Klay Thompson, who is all defensive 2nd team in 2019 to the mix, is almost unfair for the rest of the league. Lastly, let's talk about the impact of bringing back James Wiseman. Wiseman had an up and down rookie year where he showed some flashes, but also made tons of rookie mistakes and suffered from injury. But the flashes from his rookie year shows that Wiseman's upside is off the charts. Thanks to his size and athleticism, he's a terrific finisher around the rim, and he can also hit jumpers from the outside. He's also got potential to be a great defender, but he needs to get better defensive awareness and avoid foul trouble. Wiseman has said that he's been using his time off to study film, observe Kevon Looney, and get better defensively. If Wiseman is ready to make a second-year leap, then it's game over for the rest of the league. Kevon Looney is solid for the Warriors, but Wiseman is much more offensively potent than him. Wiseman would give the Dubs an elite finisher and potentially a stretch big, which would create even more spacing for them on offense. And if he can make a leap defensively, this would give the Warriors another great rim protector, which would make their stifling defense even more deadly. And this is why the Warriors are easily the best team in the league. They not only have been the best team so far, but they've done that while missing some key pieces. Once the Warriors are fully healthy, it's game over for the rest of the league. And not only do the Warriors have a great shot at an NBA championship this season, but they also have an amazing young core that will extend their dynasty long after Stephen Curry retires. Go ahead and click on that link, watch it, and have a great rest of your day.